Something in Google Analytics 4 that can be quite often overlooked is something called insights or custom insights. And this is something that is only because it's quite hard to access. It's tucked away on the homepage down at the bottom. But if you spend any time on that homepage within GA4, the more you use it, the more Google understands what good is or what is expected. And this is where Google Analytics is doing some machine learning modeling and using its capabilities to do anomaly detections fundamentally. So it does anomaly detections out of the box, and over time it might not happen straight away, and you might need to just use Google Analytics 4 a bit longer or collect more data. But on the homepage, if you scroll down to the bottom, you should start to see these insights and recommendations popping up with all sorts of different bits and bobs. Some of them are campaign specific around your marketing performance or marketing channels. Some of them are going to be anomalies and identifying things that happened. Either, data has fallen below a threshold or above a threshold to be classed as different or outside of the norm or expectation. These anomalies are what we call insights, and Google Analytics 4 is doing a really good job of trying to identify things of interest or things of note that could be useful to you in some aspect. As they currently stand, they're quite tucked away, and they do a lot of stuff out of the box, and it might feel a bit, no, that's interesting, just not very useful. But there's a feature in there called custom insights, and this is where we can create our own. The process of creating your own is going through the homepage, clicking through to the full insights and recommendation screen, and then there's a button at the top that's called create. There's also a button called manage, which is where you would manage your custom insights that you might have already created. But going through that process of creating a custom insight enables us to do a couple of things. First of all, we can ask it to do some kind of insight or some kind of anomaly detection on an hourly basis if we really want to. But we can choose between hourly, daily, weekly, and monthly. But if I just want to leave it at a daily frequency, I can then ask it to look at a specific number or a specific metric inside of Google Analytics 4. By doing that, I can then say, okay, well, let's take active users or total users or something along those lines. And then finally, the thing that we're here to look at is this idea of the condition of what must happen to this number at this frequency for it to be of note to tell you about it. And the thing that Google Analytics 4 is doing with it, a lot of its machine learning modeling, is making it accessible to us to a point where we can use the modeling at our own desire. And in this case, we can use it to alert us when there's been an anomaly. So this is using the kind of forecasting and finding out whether it's gone above or below the thresholds of the forecast model. But we can be a bit explicit if we want to as well. We can say, just tell me if it's gone above or below a certain number, or tell me if it's dropped to 0, or if it's gone up month on month or year on year. So we can use the kind of old school way of doing stuff of like arbitrarily gone up or down a certain percentage from a previous point in time, or even just flatlined. But the anomaly detection is the real kind of interesting part here. But the other aspect of this that is quite interesting is, yes, it will put these insights back onto the same area we've seen before on the homepage or on that full page if we click through, but it also gives us an opportunity to email these alerts. So these insights and when these things happen, so the conditions are met, the daily, hourly, weekly metric has changed by X or got an anomaly, we can actually give it a list of email addresses to alert us that something's happened. So it's not something you have to keep checking back on inside of Google Analytics 4. There's an opportunity here to take it out or to let Google tell you rather than you have to go in and find out if something interesting has changed or something has dropped below a certain threshold. So I've been going through it over here, but I've got a whole link to a whole bunch of documentation that we'll link off to. So if you check the description of this video, I will put all of those in there for you to have a look through, some how-to guides, some examples of how it can be used. I just wanted to talk a bit about this anomaly detection fundamentally and how it turns into custom insights and ultimately how we can get them emailed and not have to rely too much about remembering to log into Google Analytics 4 to find out these interesting things. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed. Again, check out the documentation. I highly recommend using this feature, even if it's just setting up a lot of the defaults, but have a look and definitely worth having a look at the email notifications too. All right, well, thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.